You are tuning in to Talk Wave Radio. This is your host, Timothy Preston. I'm glad that you guys can join me this morning. Well, we've been all watching the news, and we've all have taken in what's been going on. So I just wanted to jump in and voice my opinion, let you know what I think about it all. I want to touch on the shooting. I want to touch on the new way Christians are supposed to accept gays and the way we are supposed to restructure our religion to benefit a group that is considered sinful and sinners in the Bible. Now, first, we'll go and touch on the school shootings. Now, whether you believe the information from the media, whether you've noticed how the story constantly changes, it still needs to be addressed. And like I always tell people when it comes to watching the news, just take it for Facebook value, read between the lines, look and follow more than one news coverage medium or whatever, but look around and look at it all. They're trying to attack the Second Amendment, and that's to be expected. But when it comes to actually trying to ban firearms, I've never seen that work. I really haven't. From Chicago to Mexico, I've never seen that work. And with me doing my show for many years, I have come to believe what I've found in my research, and that is whenever guns are banned from a nation or a group of people, violence tends to grow rapidly. It's never the criminals who follow the laws and give guns back. It's never criminals who follow the laws and don't purchase guns on the black market, whether it's overseas or in our backyard, in our alleys, down the street, in front of our corner stores. Guns are always purchased by criminals, no matter what bans are made. Because really, the only way you can stop guns from being used in criminal acts would be to stop manufacturing guns. Well, we know we're a military industrial complex, so that will never happen. We love guns as a nation. Our government loves guns. We found this out just by watching the amount of ammunition being purchased, guns being purchased, guns being sold and given to other militias all over the world. So guns is an important thing when it comes to our government. It just becomes an important problem when it's in the hands of the American people. Now, am I justifying this mass murder? No. See, I'm not trying to focus directly on that. I see the problem when it comes down to individuals using firearms to commit heinous acts of devastating destruction. I think of the upbringing of these individuals. It seems like the majority of these individuals are teenagers or newly becoming adults. From Columbine high school kids up to this gentleman who's considered to be what? I think they're saying he's like 25. But these are the individuals that these are the individuals who's having these firearms. Now let's think about some of the things that could have been done or wasn't being done. Whenever I see kids or teenagers or young adults doing things that's just out of mind and just cuckoo crazy, I wonder where was the parents and what the parents were doing. Okay? See, you can wish the best of everything, but if you're not raising your children right, why would you expect them to do the right thing? And only a few go and do mass shootings, but there's other crimes that's being committed because there's no sense of structure, there's no sense of discipline, there's no sense of repercussions from the actions that are taken. You know, nowadays, you go to school, get belligerent, get into a fight, steal something, you know, you get grounded for a day or two. You know, there's no spankings. They found a way to say that's illegal and cruelty to minors and to children. When sometimes I believe kids just need a good ass whooping. Simple as that. I mean, I've gotten ass whoopings. I haven't committed any mass shootings. I've seen individuals who've never gotten whoopings with how they brag. I've only gotten like 2 or 3 whoopings my entire life. But these are some of the main individuals that have some of the most issues. They teach you in media, and they embed this in the children's minds, that parents are supposed to be friends. Parents are there to pacify you, give you what you want. They say give you what you need, but it's really give you what you want. We're supposed to give you what you want. We're supposed to give you what you like. We're supposed to not say wrong is wrong, even because it may hurt that child's feelings. Well, I'd rather hurt my child's feelings, disciplining them, than having my child hurt many feelings, many family members, killing individuals. And this same thing applies to these individuals who's gang banging and packing heat and committing all kind of gang activity, violence, and things of that nature. You know, that's something that needs to be looked at too, because these parents are doing the exact same thing in a sense. They give up on their children at a very young age. I've seen this happen. I've talked to parents. I've had meetings and conferences talking with parents, telling them that this whole kid-friend thing, partnership, is totally wrong and where it leads to. And this is where it leads to, you know. Yeah, you can have your child do good, and you cannot want to spank them, you cannot want to punish them for doing wrong, but you have to. Now, I bet you this family did not discipline this child in the correct manner. I'm sure he got away with a lot of things. I'm sure he was handed every video game, every computer game that he wanted as he was growing up. You see, these are one of those kids who get everything for Christmas even though they act a freaking fool all year around. How many times have this kid done something wrong and lost a Christmas? How many times do any of these kids that commit all of these heinous acts actually get penalized seriously for the things that they do? Now, I'm not saying you have to go and just beat your kids, because some kids you can punish them, and I mean strict punishment, like no TV. And when I say no TV, I literally mean no TV for a month. No video game, I mean for a month. I actually, when it comes to kids and with my kids, I actually, if they do play a video game, I actually purchase games that's in their age group. I don't care if you're 12. You're not playing a game for teens. I don't care if you're 16 or 17. You're not playing a game for mature. That's rated mature. That would be wrong and selfish and a dishonor to my children if I allowed that. Because that is a step of showing structure, showing that there are rules and that those rules have to be followed, that those are regulations that have to be followed. And if you're not following those rules, then you're telling your child that you are above that rule. You are above the law. That's like me taking my son or my daughter to a grocery store and they watch me steal, whether it's a pack of gum or a pack of meat, and then I try to wonder why later on they're getting picked up for shoplifting, or they start doing those same crimes, and then I tell them, no, that's not right. But they're learning the wrong thing. They're receiving the wrong message. Whether you allow an act or whether you teach your children up until that point, it all falls back on the parent, really. Now, they want to use the excuse what kind of drugs and medicine that they're on. You know what? For the past 20 years, they've been trying to push some sort of mental issue that half or the majority of America has some sort of mental issue, when that's not the case at all. A lot of times it's just good, wholesome discipline. Think about this. When spankings started being demonized, when hard discipline started being demonized, that's when Big Pharma started pushing all of these different drugs that can so-called help you. 5 years ago, they had pills. If you're too happy or too sad, we got a pill for that. If you're feeling low, we got a pill for that. If you're feeling depressed once a year, we got a pill for that. When it's human nature to experience all of these emotions. But now, if you fart and think it's funny, something must be wrong with you, so we have a pill for that. All through the school system, and this is public, charter, and private, all of the schools that you're going to, as soon as a kid is kind of loud or full of energy, the first thing they want to do is put them on some sort of psychotropic. Now, what do you think will happen when you start putting kids on psychotropics at a young age? Or you're telling them that something's wrong with them, directly or indirectly? What do you think will happen? What do you think the outcome will be? See, we have to look at these things, and that's how I'm looking at it. Now, as far as the Second Amendment go, I'm for the Second Amendment. I don't think anything should be taken out. I see right now they're trying to find a way to blow it out of context and demonize the Second Amendment, remove the Second Amendment. They're trying to, and most likely they will succeed in some form or fashion. But I don't think that's the answer. Now, I think things should be pushed, like movies and shows that actually show how you're supposed to handle a firearm. Maybe we shouldn't have firearms demonized or used as a solution in every movie. Maybe video games should be monitored more, but we got the Pentagon tied right into these games, Modern Warfare and whatever they call them, Two Faces or something, or Soldiers of Two. These different games, you know what I'm talking about. You play these games. So maybe the way and the information and the visuals that we push into our home or we let into our home, maybe that needs to be changed, because you can do whatever you want to do in society and outside, but it's in those four walls that you have ultimate control. You control what comes on the TV. You pay for that TV. You pay for that electricity. You pay for all of that. That's what you pay for. So I don't want to hear, oh, they got it from watching TV. See, that's a bad step on a parent. Now we get to blame the parent. And yes, she's dead. So what? We still get to blame the parent. I'm not going to feel sorry or let everybody be a victim. This idiot decided to go and shoot people. This idiot decided to kill people because he was angry. If that's how you're going to react, then you go right ahead. So I don't understand the mindset. I don't believe we should ban firearms, but I think we should look at our social aspect of it all. I think we really need to look and see how this all plays a role and a part in this, and then move forward in addressing that. We shouldn't have cartoons that's played at 7, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, always demonizing or showing some kind of horrific activity and glorify it and make it as a joke. Because when you have beatings and fights and things like that, then you desensitize the children and they look at it as all right. How many kids right now are trying to skip school and run the streets and hang out with their friends all day and all night because they think that's what they see on TV and that's how it's supposed to be? How many parents actually remind their children, look, that's a 30-minute show. You're living an entire life. Okay? So, I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. But I will touch bases with you about that more. And I'll get back to you with the gay story because I have to get ready for work because something just came up and I gotta address that. So thank you for tuning in. I will get back more on this in a little while. Thank you. This is your host, Timothy Preston.